Emily's resolve didn't just come from training, it came from a lifetime of lessons drilled into her through both hardship and love. Her father, Captain Daniel Harper, had spent over 2 decades serving his country in some of the harshest conditions imaginable. While other kids learned games and hobbies, Emily learned how to run obstacle courses blindfolded, disarm an opponent twice her size, and, most importantly, stay calm under pressure. She wasn't raised to be violent, she was raised to be prepared. In the weeks after the stairwell incident, Emily's reputation became a kind of shield, not one she flaunted, but one that made bullies think twice. But Courtney wasn't someone who took humiliation lightly. She began plotting ways to get back at Emily without getting her hands dirty. She whispered lies into teachers' ears, claiming Emily had anger issues and was a danger to other students. She encouraged her friends to accidentally bump Emily in the cafeteria, spilling food on her. Most people might have cracked under the constant petty harassment, but Emily, she treated each attack like a training drill: observe, adapt, counter. Her calm only made Courtney more desperate. The real turning point came during the school's charity field day, an event filled with sports competitions and team-building exercises. Emily hadn't signed up for much, but when the tug-of-war team was 1 member short, Coach Roberts called her in. Guess who was on the opposing team? Courtney, flanked by her loyal crew, all smirks and cocky grins. The rope burned in Emily's hands as the whistle blew. The other team pulled hard, expecting an easy win. Emily's military training kicked in, short bursts of power, precise timing. She called out quick commands to her team, synchronizing their pulls. Within seconds, Courtney's side was stumbling forward, losing ground. Then came the final heave. Courtney fell flat in the mud, her designer sneakers ruined, her perfect hair matted. The laughter that erupted wasn't cruel, it was cathartic. For once, the school wasn't laughing at the victim, but at the arrogance that had finally met its match. After that, Courtney's power began to crumble. Her followers drifted away, tired of her failed vendettas. Teachers started noticing Emily not as a troublemaker but as a natural leader. Coach Roberts even suggested she join the school's self-defense club to teach younger students how to protect themselves. At first, Emily hesitated. She didn't want to become the center of attention. But when she saw Lily and a few other quiet kids watching from the gym door with hopeful eyes, she agreed. The first day of class, Emily didn't start with fighting techniques. She started with words. You can't control what others do, she told them, her voice steady. But you can control how you respond. The goal isn't to win fights, it's to stop them before they start. And if you have to stand your ground, you do it knowing you're protecting yourself, not proving you're. Her body tumbled down the cold, concrete steps, each slam of her back against the hard edges echoing like a cruel drumbeat in the silent hallway. The world blurred into streaks of gray and white, and for a second, she couldn't breathe. Laughter, sharp, mocking, rang from above, but the pain in her ribs was drowned out by something hotter, something deeper: fury. Emily Harper wasn't just another quiet transfer student with her head down and her books hugged to her chest. She was the daughter of a decorated army officer, trained from the age of 10 in hand-to-hand combat, discipline, and the art of turning fear into fire. And these bullies, they had no idea what kind of storm they had just unleashed. It had started weeks earlier. Emily had transferred to Eastbrook High in the middle of the semester, her family relocating after her father's retirement from the military. She kept to herself, avoiding cliques and drama, but that only seemed to make her a target. Courtney Miller, the self-proclaimed queen of the sophomore class, didn't like anyone who didn't play by her rules. Emily's quiet confidence was like a splinter under Courtney's skin. It began with whispers in the hall, cruel nicknames muttered just loud enough for Emily to hear, and accidental bumps that sent her books scattering across the floor. Emily let it slide. She had learned in military training that not every battle was worth fighting. But bullies often mistake silence for weakness, and that's exactly what Courtney did. The day everything boiled over was a rainy Friday. The halls were slick with water from dripping umbrellas and muddy sneakers. Emily was heading down the back stairwell to avoid the crowded main hallway when she heard the quickened footsteps behind her. "Hey, new girl," a voice sneered. She barely turned before a hard shove hit her shoulder. Her foot slipped, and the world tilted. The staircase rose up against her spine, again and again, before she hit the landing with a sickening thud. Her palms stung from scraping against the cement, but she stayed still, listening. Courtney and her two shadows were laughing, one of them muttering, "She's so pathetic." Pathetic. Emily's pulse pounded in her ears, and her father's voice echoed in her mind, "Control your breath, assess your surroundings, and choose your moment." She pushed herself up slowly, brushing her hair from her face, her expression unreadable. "You shouldn't have done that," she said, her voice calm, too calm. Courtney smirked, "Or what?" That was the moment Emily's switch flipped. In less than a second, she closed the distance between them. Her movements were precise, controlled, not wild or reckless. She sidestepped the first swing, using the girl's momentum to pin her arm against the wall. A quick, firm twist had Courtney gasping in pain, her knees buckling. Emily's other hand shot out, stopping the second girl mid-lunge, pushing her back just enough to make her stumble. "You think you can gang up on people?"